Sasha?
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Sasha. Hold on. I'm trying to open my camera. Okay, there it is. We still got a couple minutes, but you all set? You ready?
I'm nervous, but yeah.
So I don't have any, I know you want it to be, I want you to be comfortable as possible. So I know that the topic we talked about, so, it's really going to be, um, the 30 minutes will go by really quick. It's going to be really quick. And I don't have any structure or format. As we talk, we'll just kind of let the conversation go to where, oh, okay. Well, we got it all under control then. I'm going to, again, this is a platform for you to really just, um, to share your business and to, you know, motivate other women-owned businesses in Bridgeport, and kind of give us a story about how you made it to where you are, all that stuff. We'll talk about it. We'll go into it. I'm just going to give it
Oh,
a couple more minutes for people to come in.
is it a lot of people? 'Cause I'm nervous. Maybe.
So it may be. I think I put you as the presenter, so it may be. Um, you'll be able to see their faces, but you won't be able to hear them. So the conversation would be really just guided by you, and we'll just go back and forth, and then at the end, if there's any questions from people, they can ask you. There's also a Q&A section, so if they wanted to type it in the Q&A section, any comments or questions, they can do that as well.
Okay.
Um, all right, so give me 1 second. Let me just. And we'll give it a couple of minutes, just like 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll go on. And because it's recorded, I'm also working on a platform where we can post the recording of the videos,
Hmm.
like on YouTube or something of that nature, so people can always go back and look at what's
Okay.
going on.
That's.
So,
I was writing. I was worried about this for like the last week, but
mhm,
I wrote some good little notes down.
that's
I
good.
know I. I know I changed the topic, but I'm like the topic you gave me was like I'm
That's
like I
fine.
don't know, but
It is fine. So, we're going to start then and get this
you gonna lead
recording
this
posted.
conversation, or you want me to lead the conversation?
We're going to work together
Fair
into
enough.
this. All right. So, right. So this is our first recording for Feel Good Fridays. My name is Jason Chandersing. I run the Small and Minority Business Enterprise Department. And today we have our very own SMV's own Sasha Cummings, which is the owner of The Girl, which is a fashion, and she's going to um, describe her brand and introduce her brand and talk about her brand, and we're gonna go from there. So Sasha, thank you for being on the first of our episodes of Feel Good Fridays. So thank you
Thank
for
you.
accepting the invitation, and tell us about your business. Tell us about you, and where you're from and everything like that, and then tell us about your business a little bit.
Okay, my name is Sasha Cummings. I'm from Bridgeport. My brand is D Girl. It's a lifestyle brand. I started D Girl back in 2016 as a clothing brand, and I pivoted it into a lifestyle brand because I don't just sell clothes. So, um, my mission for my brand is to bring women together to talk about real topics and real conversations from real people standpoints. I feel like social media gives people thinking they have to do so much and be so grand to be something or feel good or be who they are. So my brand is to help elevate your style, but build your confidence, build your self-esteem in this crazy world. So that's my brand.
Hmm. Where did you come up with the name D Girl?
So I wanted D girl to be dope girl, but I didn't like the connotation behind it, and I felt like I would have to over explain it, and I didn't want to have to over explain it. So I just took out all of that and just put D girl. But it does, the D definitely does stand for D girl. I'm for dope girl, and that's how I came up with the name. I think it's D girl is for dope girls, like you fire, like you fine, like you should
Right.
feel good. You should always feel like that. So that's why I stand on dope girl, but I like it as D girl, so I don't have to super over explain it.
That's good. So it kind of so like your brand actually kind of goes hand in hand with the purpose of why we're doing Feel Good Fridays,
Hmm.
and which is to kind of add a sense of like empowerment to women and to women that may support your brand and have their own businesses. And just for the folks that are here, we recently had an event, the pitch competition, which was a wonderful event, and when during one of the training sessions, I think that's where I had first met you officially, and you were talking about your brand, and there was also another young lady who was an esthetician, and in just hearing you talk, I was like, the gears started turning, and I was like, wow, we need to this is the perfect opportunity to provide a platform for businesses that will empower and ignite a passion, or to kind of set the flame up for other women-owned businesses in a manner
Yeah.
that is positive and
Hmm.
uplifting. So I was like, and I don't know if you remember me when you were talking, I was like, wait, I'm thinking, and I was like, Feel Good Fridays. And Feel Good Fridays just came to me, and I was like, all right, how do I make it happen? I reached out to you. You were like, yeah, I'll do it. And I was just like, okay. She said yes, so now I got to keep on going. So now we're here, and again,
I felt
you
the same
know,
way. I'm like, I
this is
already
just
said
the
yes. I
this
gotta
is just
keep
the
going.
beginning of great things to come. So
Okay.
so D girl, okay, we got the concept, we got where the name came from. What is your background as far as like fashion? What were you one of the girls that from like a little girl growing up to high school and and going that you had the fashion concept, or was it something that kind of came to you as in your adulthood?
So I come from that kind of background with my grandmother. She's kind of like the matriarch of the family, but she's like the fashion icon of the family. But I always like to look good, and that's what I always experienced growing up. Like I always felt like I needed to look good, especially being a plus size girl. I always felt like I wanted to look just as good. Like I'm fine. So nobody's not gonna
Mhm.
make me feel no different. So when I came up with my concept for my brand, I always tell people I started my brand in the midst of pain and things that I was dealing with in my personal life. And so I felt like at the time I started it, like we don't have plus size girls because it started off as a plus size clothing brand. With like plus size girls don't have a clothing brand. Like we are, like if you go on any website right now, we're not at the top like plus size clothing. It is always all the regular size clothing and they say plus size right at the bottom. So I'm like, I want to start a brand for plus size girls that cater to us, um, to make us look good, feel good. We don't have to feel like we in moo all the time, or we have to wear big old clothes, and because everything don't fit everybody, and that's not everybody's style. So that's why I started off. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna start D Girl. I'm gonna start my own clothing brand.
That's good. And that's encouraging to know too, because um, even for men, you know, there aren't too many brands that represent, larger guys.
Hmm.
There's a section in every store, but there's no brand that says
Absolutely.
this is who you are, this is who we are, and then this represents this
Hmm.
demographic of people. So kudos to you for seeing that and then bringing that to fruition. Um, what is something that you want people to know that may not know you or your brand? Give you the floor first.
I don't know. I've been doing it since 2016. And I think one thing I want people to know about my brand is you could come to my brand as you are. I have YouTube, Instagram. I go live on Instagram on Thursdays, and I talk about my week, but I talk about topics, whatever comes to mind that I think is important for people to hear, especially ladies. And so that's the one thing I want. I would love people to come to it, especially to my YouTube, because I started YouTube for the girl, and my Instagram, because those are real good conversations and they real wholesome. And it's just like you don't have to be nothing to come there. You don't have to like I just put up a video actually, which I'm glad you asked that, talking about why I don't get like I'm not overdressed and have so much makeup on when I post videos. And it was basically along the lines of letting women know, like, I don't do it because I want you to see me in the raw. Like, you don't see me dressed up. You would catch me like that outside or occasionally on YouTube and stuff like that, but it's not going to be all the time. I can't connect with you when you're worrying about what's in here. I want you to listen to what I'm saying to you because I want you to receive it. So, like I said, D-Grow is not just a clothing brand. That's why I pivoted to a lifestyle brand because I want to be able to connect with women. I realized over the years that a lot of ladies always ask me randomly where I get all this confidence from. And to be honest, it's not from nowhere. It's just from myself. And so I always pour that into other women because I never realized, even growing my brand, that so many women have self-esteem issues and confidence issues when they have to show up in front of other people. And that's what I want people to know about my brand. Like, you come as you are. I don't care who you are, how you look. No, and I don't want you to compare yourself to me or where I'm going or what you think my life is because of how I look. So I come to you raw and uncut and just how I am. And that's the B Grow brand. Just, you are who you are. You welcome regardless.
That's to the point. I like that, and I think it's important because you can as we scroll, as we can all attest to, we scroll on Instagram, we scroll Facebook, we scroll Twitter, on TikTok, and there's a whole bunch of fluff out there. There's a whole bunch of a little truth surrounded by a whole bunch of fluff, and it's
Hmm.
presented as if it's the 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 river of life, and if you
Yeah.
accept, if you take it, you'll be better forever. But that's not always the case. And I think it's really important to always to have a voice, and especially in this community, in this time, that is not going to give us fluff. That's going to
Hmm.
go, give it raw and uncut. Like, this is what it is, and this is what it ain't.
Exactly.
This is what it make. This is what it takes. This is what it took for me to get where I have to get, and this is what it may take for you as well. So
Hmm.
that's a really good point. I love again, I love the positivity, and I love the way that you're reaching out, and especially you said you have your Instagram live. So how often is that? Do you do your Instagram live?
So Instagram Live is every Thursday at 9:30 to 10:15 because that's the time that I'm kind of like, I have my time to myself and I'm on my way to work.
Mhm.
So I always, once I get to work, I usually just pull in and pop my live on, wait till the girls get on and we start talking. And that's when I talk about topics, and I even announce a lot of stuff that I'm going to do within the coming months, the coming weeks, and stuff like that. Hmm.
That's 9:30 a.m.
Hmm.
to
They just
10:15
we
a.m.
just came up for this year. It's starting Wednesday. I mean, starting Monday of next week. They wanted me to do live 7:30 in the evening, so that also gives people time to come in from work just in case during the morning on Thursday people can't come in. And
Mhm.
I'll be doing topics where I tell everybody, hey, jump into my DM, tell me topics that you want to talk about that you might be uncomfortable talking about, and we could talk about. I'll fluff up the card. I mean, do the cards and pick a card so that we all could just talk about that one topic on Monday nights.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's interesting. Okay, and,
Hmm.
and that's open to anyone that wants to join in, right?
Anyone. Yeah, because it's
Okay.
on Instagram Live, so it's for whoever.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that's good to hear about the personal side. So let's talk about the business side. Let's talk about when it comes to marketing and the importance of having a network and why networking is important. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
So networking is important because you never know who you're gonna meet, right? And you don't you your network is really your network. So a lot of us as business owners, when we work, we trying to work on our business, especially if it's a small business, we do it alone. A lot of stuff we do alone, we wear many hats, but we can only go as far as our capacity, right? So you
Mhm.
can't really go no further than that. And that doesn't mean that it will never happen. It's going to just take you a little longer. And some doors not going to open for you in ways. If you had built a network, these other people's resources can help you get into doors that may have never been open for you, at least not right now,
Mhm.
right? And although a lot of times when you have a small business, you can't, you shouldn't be dependent on family and friends, right? But if you think about it with your friend group, if you are the only entrepreneur like myself in my friend group, I could ask my friends small questions, but they can't get me where I need to be. They can't get D girl where they need to be. They can only give me their
Mhm.
opinion and their idea. So a network is extremely important because these people, some people that you meet are already in the spaces that you want to get in, that you aspire to get in, or that you never even had an idea you wanted to do. So sometimes, no, not sometimes, all the time, it's important for you to meet people and network with people to help you get where you need to be.
Hmm. And it's interesting you said that. So question for all the for all the business owners in here and new, maybe even new business owners. So when you started your brand, D Girl, and you had just mentioned it a little while ago about family and friends, where was your first line of customers? Where did they come from?
You know what? My first line of customers came from down south.
Hmm.
Yep.
What was it like was it friends of friends, or did it happen like
No,
like
strangers, strangers,
strangers?
straight
That's good
strangers.
to know.
Yep.
Because I oftentimes say that, sometimes, a lot of times, when you have a business, don't look to the people that have been there in your circle, because they will support you. But again, you want to make sure you have genuine support. So people that actually want your product and maybe need your services. So strangers
Hmm.
will provide that support for your business.
Yep.
Um, so what else can you speak to as far as like networking? Because your social media platform is a sense of network. It's a virtual network
Hmm.
that you're starting there. Um, how do you feel about like in-person things? Has D Girl done in-person networking?
The first Negro networking thing was with y'all. So, and that was Miss Katie just threw me in there, and I was just like, okay. And I'm like, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, damn, what? What did you just do?
Hmm.
But that was my first. That was my first in-person event, and I enjoyed it actually. So, yeah, usually my everything I do is online, everything. So
Hmm.
and that goes back to networking, like, and I had went downtown for something totally different, nothing that concerned D girl at all, actually. So that that moment opened the doors for me to meet people that I would have never met you guys anyway. I don't come downtown often, honestly. So unless it's to take care of business. So that opened the door because then I met Mika and then I met Denise. And these are two people that already started doing pop-up shops. I never did a pop-up shop, although my mom always told me to do one. I'm like, I don't really want to do that. But that opened the door because Mika and Denise already on. Do that make sense? So lately they just be like, Sasha, you want to do this pop-up shop, offer me all this different stuff. And I'm like, again, that's a good thing that I opened myself up to that because I opened up my network a little bit.
Mm. So what would be a bit of advice for anybody listening, that may have a new or existing business, that um, what would be your advice as far as like taking advantage of events like the ones we host, like when we do the entrepreneur exchange and we do the financial literacy seminars? What would be your advice?
My advice is to show up. I'm a pretty shy person, and you can't be shy in business, right? But I would say just show up, just come, just even if it's just listen. You never know who you're gonna meet, and those people could open doors for you, like I said, that you probably will never be able to open, right? Um, and just take a chance on trying something out, trying something new. Don't be, don't wait so long like I wait so long to do everything. Don't procrastinate. Just go ahead and
Mhm.
see if you like it and just try it. The worst case scenario, you don't like it.
Mhm.
That's like the worst case scenario.
True,
So
true.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's important to know, like when we do these different events, for the most part, the majority of businesses that come and partake do find something worthwhile, and they have something to take back with them, whether it's, a new friendship from another business owner,
Mm-hmm.
or whether it's just a tidbit of like, oh, I didn't know I had to do this for my taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I do know, a big takeaway is anytime we do our pop-ups here, the, the majority of the interaction is amongst the business owners, not even the customers to the business. We just had
Mm-hmm.
a pop-up shop yesterday, and from yesterday going back to the first one we did a couple of years ago when I was here, I watch in that, and everything I observe is that the business owners are steady going to each other's tables. They're exchanging cards and they're supporting each other, which is a really good, really, really, really good thing to see. Hey,
Sorry.
the cameo from the cat.
from my cat.
So it's really good. It's really good to see that type of interaction because it's good to know that there are people out there with the same experiences and
Hmm.
shared experiences. And a lot of times, especially at pop-up events, you'll have vendors that have the similar products.
Hmm.
Whether it's clothing or whether it's jewelry or whatever, and that's where the conversations happen. Where it's like, well, oh, well,
Yeah.
where do you get your supplies from, or what
Hmm.
vendor do you use? I've heard the conversations on numerous occasions. Oh, I don't use them because they charge X, Y, Z, but I got a guy that
Hmm.
does this. That's the real purpose and the real essence of why, in my opinion, pop-up shops are so successful.
Yeah.
Yes, the customers are the added benefit. I look at it, but it's really that interaction and that synergy among small businesses. And then once you get to talking and you get to sharing information, and again, then you meet people like Mika and the other Denise, I think you said, and this is
Hmm.
how things grow.
Hmm.
So, and actually, I think um, I don't have it, but Mika's doing our February uh, Feel Good Fridays, and
Hmm.
that flyer I think I can circulate it or I will circulate it before I go home. So and then I think March is Marcia Fountain is doing March's Feel Good Friday. So the lineup is coming and it's gonna get betterer and betterer and my word for the day, better. And it's this is the start of great things to come. And I want to
Absolutely.
make sure that everyone, not everyone, but I want to make sure as many people as possible have the opportunity to not only just hear stories from women like you that own businesses, but actually support your business, and
Hmm.
buy the product
Yeah.
and come out and support, and then come to your Instagram lives and partake. And this is how the community builds. This is one thing I think that Bridgeport really needs, and
Hmm.
business owners like yourself are giving the community what they've been longing for and looking for. There's
Yeah.
so much potential and so
Absolutely.
many great things in Bridgeport. Even the panel that's here, there's some great business owners here that have some
Hmm.
great ideas and great services and great products. And you with along with the SME department, we're trying to make that platform so relevant for everyone because Bridgeport is a great place to actually have
Have
business.
a business. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, what else do you want to share as far as marketing and networking? I know you got some notes. I want to make sure you can touch
I got
everything.
so the one note I had, I don't I wanted to talk about real quick was I
Mhm.
kind of mentioned it as when you're a small business owner, you do a lot of stuff yourself. So I was the example I had, I was scrolling through Instagram and I had seen a video where a lady said that she sacrificed a lot. She sacrificed in order to grow her business. So and I pulled it back to networking, as a business owner and doing things yourself, you can only get yourself but so far. Regardless of how much you think you can, you're only going to get yourself but so far. You need to network, and you even though you're delegating tasks to other people, you have to take time to have self-care moments for yourself because you get burnout really, really, really fast, right? And so, and then you don't have time to create anything for your brand because you overwork.
Mhm.
So those moments, and especially for women, take the time out to do self-care because even in those moments that you go to the nail salon or the spa or something like that, you're sparking up a conversation with a woman right next to you, and you have no clue what she does, or you have no clue how you can help her, or how she can help you in your business. So, those are other ways to network. Also, coincide in self care with that, and that go for guys too. When you own a business, you know, I think it's easier for guys at the barbershop, right? You get to talk and mix and mingle, you meet them there, right? But for women, and any small business owner, you get overworked sometime and you get so submersed in that moment that you feel like you have to sacrifice everything. And that's the one thing I don't believe in as a business owner. You have to have work-life balance. That's very important to your mental health. You know what I'm saying? Money is not everything. You can't take it with you. So you have to make sure that you're coinciding self-care and you could still work. You understand? You can still work,
Mhm.
you still network, and networking is a part of work. That's a part of promotion, a part of marketing, and having natural conversations with the lady right next to you, wherever it's at, whether it's in a supermarket or wherever. That's considered networking. You never know who you meet. Life is full circle. So people will get you indoors, and you need to make sure that you're prepared to have natural conversations with different people, because no time in this experience, in this journey of entrepreneurship, you're going to need somebody, and you never know who you'll re-bump into again in that journey.
That reminds me, it was the old expression, the same people you meet going up the ladder are the same people you meet going down the ladder. And
Hmm.
keeping in mind that, the relationships that you build can be beneficial,
Hmm.
whether your business is going up or down. And like,
Yep.
to your point, you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're
Hmm.
going to run into, and you never know who can actually be the catapult to the next level of your business. You
Absolutely.
know, you're every business owner is only one conversation away from the
Yep.
next thing. And
Yep.
that next thing could be $1 million, contract to do something of what you do for somebody,
Hmm.
and that's just the reality of life. You never know who you
Absolutely.
bump into and who you can interact with. So that's a great point. Um, what do you have in store for the future for D Girl?
So I actually wanted I when I first started my brand, I always want to do big stuff with a small budget, right? So
Right.
um usually well, recently I just put up a YouTube video of one of like circa 2016 when I first started D Girl. So if you go to the D Girl YouTube, it's a video there, and I talk about my brand there. And I had wanted to do a brunch, and I felt like that was just like over the top. And I'm like, who's gonna come but my cousin does, she has Joel's craft journey. So my cousin actually does that. She does crafting, and she started her business, and she was there with me when I first started my first business, which was owning a hair salon. So
Okay.
she said to me, she said, Sasha, you need to have the brunch this year. You need to have the bosses brunch, because that's what I named it. So this year in the summer, and I'm planning out having a bosses brunch to have a panel of ladies that come in and talk about their business, kind of like what I'm doing right now with you guys, the ups and downs of their business, and give other women tips. If you don't own a business, if you want to own a business, if you just want to get in a room with other women that's doing it, it's hard to do something when you don't do it now because you think it's
Mm-hmm.
unattainable. So to see other women, minority women doing it in your city, right next to you, that you go to shop right with, that's a different kind of feeling to be like, yo, I know her. She does this. I never knew she did this. So I feel like it's a lot, and I'm not gonna lie to nobody here. I'm scared, but I'm gonna do a brunch. It's gonna be a bosses brunch with ladies, and we're gonna talk about that and eat, because that's what we like to do. And we're just going to talk about business, and hopefully I could get a lot of ladies to come out, young girls to come out. Like I said, just be in a room with other entrepreneurs. I don't care how big your business is, whether it's small or large. D Girl been around for a while. I consider my business a medium business, right? I don't make a lot of money, but I'm pouring into ladies, and that for me right there is makes me feel good. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My business, once you see Sasha, you're gonna already attach Sasha to D Girl. That's all that matters to me. So that's what we should be looking forward to this summer.
Coming soon. Well, listen, we're definitely, the SM part of the SMB, part of what we do, or a lot of what we do is support. So if in the event you need any help, or reach out to us, because we're here we're an entity that can help you plan the things, to help you do the things, because we've done it, and we're doing it. And especially for the first time, the first time is
Hmm.
always scary, because I remember the first time, when I was started here almost 3.5 years ago. The very, very, very first event I did was on a Friday evening at like 6 p.m. And I got the ridicule of the lifetime, because it was like, why are you doing an event at 6 o'clock? It's Friday. People want to go home, blah, blah, blah. But for the first event, it was almost 40 people. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I say that to say, number one, there are going to be naysayers, and there's going to be people
Absolutely.
that are going to critique and have absolutely no value into what you're saying, but always have an opinion.
Hmm.
They have an
Absolutely.
opinion for things they've never done before. So I want to say to you and to everyone listening, there's going to be naysayers. Tune them out, block them out. And sometimes the
Hmm.
naysayers will be family and will be friends.
Yes.
However, when you have your vision as a business owner, the vision was given to you, not to the
To
masses. And it's
yes.
up to you to present the vision to the masses. So if I, I'll say I'll if you need help, we're here to help for your boss. What is it called?
Thank you, y'all.
What's it going to
Bosses
be called?
brunch.
Boss's brunch.
Bosses brunch. Hmm.
just contact Katie and she'll get all and we'll start laying down the groundwork there. And, we'll help you plan an event because, again, as a resource center, that's what we're here for. It's not just to provide, again, the classes and the education and the networking events and webinars. It's to actually hit the ground running along with the businesses. Hey, I want to do a cookout. All right, well, let us help you plan it. Let us help you promote it because you're part of our networks, and that's what we do. It's what we believe, and that's how we move. And then again, you contacting us, we have a plethora of other people that can actually pitch in and help as well. So the possibilities are endless, I guess to say. But in any event, this was a wonderful conversation. I'm so glad that you again accepted the invitation. Thank you for accepting the invitation, and I hope everyone that joined and had. Oh wait, before I forget, I put into the chat D Girl's Instagram. So if anyone is here, just make sure you follow her Instagram for her Instagram lives, which are currently open to the
Thursday.
public, 9:30 a.m. to 10:15, or every Thursday.
Yep, every Thursday.
You're right. Wrote it down, and as well as a possible addition for 7:30 p.m. More information to come,
Monday.
but you have to
Yep.
follow her to figure it out. And so make sure you follow her Instagram, and then that'll link you to everything else. Welcome to her cat again, who is looking like I want to be in the camera, but I'm scared.
So bad.
So,
She don't give me no space.
but again, thank you so much for accepting the invitation, and
Thank you so
so
much for
glad to have
having
you
me.
with us.
Thank
All
you.
right, so take care and have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year.